Well, viewers, we have some live pictures coming in from NASA where the preparations have reached the final stage because now the hatch is closing, and after that, a couple of hours later, the undocking process will begin. There you can see Nick Hague, Sunita Williams, Butch Wilmore and cosmonaut Alexander Gorbanov are packing up and closing the hatches as Crew-9 prepares to depart from the International Space Station. They're closing the hatch right now. They're packed up. They're all set for the undocking process. Final checks are being done. Seat belts are being tightened for all the astronauts. And once all of this is done, Crew-9 will leave International Space Station on their journey back to Earth. This after they were stranded for 9 long months in the International Space Station after their Boeing Starliner capsule ran into technical glitches. There you can see they're packing themselves up with the space suits, and one of them is already packed and he is now steady and ready.
On the far left, Butch Wilmore; on the far right, Sunny Williams, who launched back on June 5th aboard a Boeing Starliner spacecraft, returning on Tuesday aboard the Dragon Freedom to complete what will be 286 days in space, 285 of which will have been spent on the International Space Station. Just to put their long-duration mission into context, it is not the longest mission in the history of U.S. spaceflight, the longest single mission. That distinction belongs to NASA's Frank Rubio, who had his mission extended due to a coolant leak on the Soyuz spacecraft that he was launched on from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. A replacement Soyuz was launched by Roscosmos. Rubio came home subsequent to that with a total of 371 days in space. Behind him, Mark Vande Hei, NASA astronaut, logged 355 days in space. Scott Kelly, 340. Christina Cook, 328. And Peggy Whitson, 289.
So live pictures coming in from International Space Station, and we're getting a statement from NASA as well. Weather is perfect for Dragon spacecraft's return. All checks are in place as of now, NASA is saying. And from the time of undocking till the splashdown, there will be a gap of about 17 hours. Splashdown is at 5:57 p.m. Eastern time, and that is what is happening right now. This is the picture coming in from the International Space Station, viewers. And Deepak, speaking of the kind of anticipation everybody has for this moment, when these astronauts have been in space for 9 months, they have been very brave. They've also conducted 150 experiments. Sunita Williams has spent a lot of time space walking as well. This is something we're all waiting for, and we know Crew-9 is scheduled to return to Earth on Tuesday, March 18th. Now, this is, of course, will be in a different time zone because we follow a different time zone in India. But Deepak, what else can we expect as we wait for that splashdown?
That's right, Shivangi. The world is waiting with bated breath, and so are friends and family members of Sunita Williams, Butch Wilmore. And Sunita Williams, while she was stranded, she said that she can't wait to meet her pet dog. In fact, we also have some live briefing coming in from NASA because the hatch closure procedure has been initiated.
All on board. The hatch is closed between Dragon and the International Space Station. The station hatch will be closed a short time from now, and leak checks at the docking interface between the two spacecraft will begin to make sure we have an airtight seal before the small passageway or vestibule known as pressurized mating adapter number 2 will be ready for depressurization down to vacuum and the subsequent undocking of Dragon from Harmony's space-facing port about an hour and 47 minutes from now.
Well, now final equipment checks are being done where crew members secure all the loose equipment and also ensure that essential items for re-entry are on board. Items that need to stay on the ISS are properly stored, and after they secure the final equipment list, the cabin configuration follows. The spacecraft is then prepared for departure by adjusting seats, securing supplies and checking communication systems. The hatch seal is then inspected for any obstruction or damages. A pressure equalization process is also conducted before the closing of the hatch. And as far as hatch closure is concerned, the hatch between the International Space Station and the spacecraft, which is the Dragon spacecraft, which is currently being used in this particular mission, is physically closed, and crew members use a locking mechanism to secure it in place. The ground teams and the ISS crew conduct a leak check by monitoring pressure levels. Any unexpected pressure drops could then indicate an issue with the seal. Then they'll have to restart the entire process once again. And the final communication and readiness check will be communicated by the NASA Mission Control and also Roscosmos, if the cosmonauts are also involved. In this case, they are involved. There is one cosmonaut who will also be arriving back, and they verify the spacecraft's power, oxygen and navigation systems, whether all of them are functioning properly, and they'll secure all these loose items. There you can see several items being completely tagged in this particular spacecraft, so that none of them, float around them when the spacecraft is making a re-entry.
All right, we joined by Dr. Jayant Murthy, professor at IIA Bengaluru. He's also a former NASA scientist joining us. Thank you for joining us here, Dr. Murthy. If you could explain to our viewers what they're seeing on the screen, this will help our viewers understand the final process before we can expect the splashdown.
I just joined, so I'm only seeing it just now. So I don't actually know what I'm seeing on the screen. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, right now, as we speak, sir, the hatch closure is being witnessed. The astronauts are securing all the loose items. So if you could take us through the procedure of the hatch closure between the ISS and the spacecraft.
This is what I'm trying to tell you. I just joined. I haven't seen the pictures yet, so I don't really know what they're doing right now.
No, but what is the usual procedure that's followed, sir?
How would I know? You asked me for